Before I even start this speech, I would like to tell you in advance that you're going to hear me saying the S word a lot. And you're going to hear me saying the F word a lot too. So if some of you are sensitive about these words, you may want to leave right now. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about success and failure. What is failure? What is this F word that people talk about all the time? I would like you to clap twice if you think the things I'm about to say would be a failure in your own lives or in those around you. Clap twice if you think being expelled from school and rejected by other school a failure. Clap twice if you think studying 3 years for a doctoral exam just to not pass a failure. Clap twice if you think learning a foreign language for 5 years but still couldn't speak it fluently a failure. The first person that you might have clapped for was Albert Einstein. Is he a failure? He is known for his success, not for his mistakes. But today, I'm not going to talk to you about famous people. I'm going to talk to you about Gary Green, who most of you may not know, and myself, who some of you can relate closely to. Gary Green was the guy who failed at his doctoral exam after studying 3 years of special education. He came to Lincoln a few years ago and gave a speech about his early life. Worse than him not passing exam, he and his wife had planned a party to celebrate him passing of the exam. Well, he was informed that he didn't pass. Some of you might be wondering, what is he going to do about the party? I asked him, emailed him, and asked him just that. He answered by saying it would be cathartic to have a failure party where everyone shared failure stories at night and they just had a great time. After hearing about this story, my mindset completely changed. Not passing exam is not the end of the world. Now, I would like you to think back to our clap twice exercise. Remember the last one? The person who failed at learning a foreign language the first time was me. So would you all look at me right now and call me a failure? When I first came to Lincoln, I could not speak Spanish, or English for that matter. I don't know how many of you had the same experience as I did when I first started to speak a new language. I couldn't. I needed to do a little Google Translate in my mind before I could fluently say out loud. So as you can imagine, my first few friends here were very patient, waiting for what I wanted to say. My friend would ask me, "What did I eat yesterday?" Asking about food is really the hardest question ever, even harder and mind-provoking than the question, what is the meaning of life? I would have to translate beans, vegetables, fried chicken, everything to my friend. It's actually a wonder that we're still friends after all that food talk. Anyways, beyond that, I also felt judged by native English speakers who can easily read a text out loud, like they have practiced in front of the mirror the whole afternoon. While I first have to search up all the exotic words that I've never seen in my life, click to listen to the pronunciation, and repeat it several times to remember. I remember for an oral exam at school how hard I practiced at home, but when I came to school, the things I was about to say just couldn't come out of my mouth. I also suffered because of my accent. I remember how people couldn't understand what I want to say and told me to spell the words. So there I was, spelling HOWAREYOU. How are you? Well, that kind of conversation would take forever. So I asked my friend to correct me whenever I sounded weird. Gradually, people just stopped asking me simple words like chicken or rice. At first, I thought maybe I was just a failure. Maybe I could just not speak in public. But now, when I look back, I realize I didn't fail at learning fast enough. I didn't fail at speaking out loud. In fact, I was quite successful in not giving up and going to bed crying every night. So here's a bit of an odd transition. Just go with me here. Never did I think that I would be talking about my language learning to talk about the founder of Spanx. But here it is. Sarah Blakely was talking to Forbes magazine, and she defined failure as not trying. But I tried extremely hard to learn English. So in her eyes, I wasn't a failure. Thank you for those thanks. Now, we have heard about what famous people think about failures, what people around our age think about failures. But what about little kids? The kids that you see on the screen or in a class where everyone gets the same amount of stickers, whether they did well or not so well on the exams. All of them get a high five when they learn from their mistakes. Things were phrased very differently in that class. They say they had an oops moment, which I personally think is a really good phrase. Now, you can't say that I didn't warn you that I'll be using the F word all this time. TEDx is a really classy and professional event. So I think it's time for us to clean up our language. Oh, hey, I haven't failed. You haven't failed. We just had an oops moment. So now I would like to ask the people in the front row. Hello, would you share an oops moment with me?
Once I failed my Spanish exam because I didn't do it.
Oh, but did you learn from it?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, that high five actually feels good. Now, everyone, I want everyone turn to the people around you and share one oops moment, but just one because I have a speech to finish. Thank you. And high five them. Okay, time's up. I still have a speech to finish. As I stand here in front of all of you, 100 people, sweating, even shivering a little, I still consider myself successful, even though I couldn't fall asleep yesterday and I might have messed up a couple of lines. But why should I care? I'm doing speeches that I was once scared of. I'm talking to you all using the language I wasn't confident in. Failure? Yeah, right. Thank you.